It is way too late to be doing this. Alright. Hey guys, I'm Max, and I'm your host for today's episode of Generic Podcast number 54. Today, we'll be talking about the colonization and decolonization of Ethiopia during World War II. I hope you guys enjoy, but first, before we get into this, let's have a word from our sponsor, Raid Shadow Legends. Raid Shadow Legends is an awesome game that's super cool, and I'm sure you've heard a lot about already. In this game, you explore the tower with your own team of warriors and fight different bosses to claim a ton of different rewards that are super cool and shiny. And if you use code GENERIC10, you can get 10,000 silver and one of these super cool heroes that will totally not become irrelevant in the next update. Alright, thank you to Raid Shadow Legends for sponsoring this video, and let's get back to the episode. Alrighty, so, before we can talk about Ethiopia, we have to talk about its origins. Now, where Ethiopia is currently, there is something called the Kingdom of Dmt, back in 8th century to 4th century BC. Now, the Kingdom of Dmt was a small, what was it called? Hey, Editor Max here. Video Max is saying unimportant things about the Kingdom of Dmt, so I'll go ahead and skip to the decolonization part. Alright, now after that fascinating history lesson in the Kingdom of Dmt, let's talk about what's really relevant to today's episode, decolonization. First of all, what is decolonization? Well, if you take it apart, it's the uncolonization of a colony. Basically, when a controlling nation, or colonizer, is taken out of a colony and it gains its independence. Now, unlike a lot of African areas in the time of imperialism, Ethiopia is one of two nations that did not get colonized during that time. It actually was attempted by Italy in the 1880s to 1896, but in the First Italo-Ethiopian War, Ethiopia won and Italy was not able to colonize it. Now, of course, Ethiopia did get colonized later. During World War II, from 1936 to 1941, Italy occupied Ethiopia's area. This was mainly because of World War II, and Italy as an Axis power had much more power and was able to take over Ethiopia. So, the independence of Ethiopia was led by Haile Selassie, who later was crowned Emperor of Ethiopia when it gained its sovereignty. Now, this independence was not gained on its own, as Ethiopia wasn't able to defend itself earlier. It came from assistance from the Allied forces during World War II, specifically the British, who were able to help them rid Ethiopia of the Italian occupants. This independence took place from late 1940 to May of 1941. Okay, now where did you guys go? Oh, there you are, of course. Alright, so, about Ethiopia. The parties that participated in this war were, of course, the Ethiopian Patriots, also known as the Arbanach. I'm totally not butchering that. And then, obviously, the Italians who were occupying Ethiopia, and the assistance from the British. Now, this war was obviously a war, so it was quite violent, including guerrilla warfare tactics and brutal chemical weaponry, specifically mustard gas from the Italians, which was used extensively. Despite this, the Ethiopians were able to come out on top and win their independence in May of 1941. The exact day of independence is not specified, but it's celebrated on May 5th, also known as Patriots' Victory Day. Oh, hey, forgot I was doing this. Okay, so, Ethiopia today. Alright, so today, in the modern day, Ethiopia's relationship with Italy is surprisingly strong. Despite the fact that Italy tried to invade Ethiopia twice and succeeded once, they have been building a steady relationship since 2018 to increase the stability of their both economies and political cooperation over the years. This is foreseen to be a very beneficial relationship for both countries and will overall be good, which is much better than the revolution that was and the occupation that was not very good. Okay, so the sources for today's episode come from the African American Registry article on Ethiopia's independence and how it was gained. And the next source is the Institution of Foreign Affairs article on the relationship between Ethiopia and Italy in modern day and how that is evolving and where it could go. And the last source is a publication from the Universiteit Leiden in the Netherlands about Italian-occupied Ethiopia during World War II. These were the three main sources used for the content in this episode. Alrighty, I would like to thank you guys for listening in on this episode about the decolonization of Ethiopia. I hope you guys enjoyed, and make sure to use generic 10 at Raid Shadow Legends to get 10,000 silver and a super cool looking hero. Thanks for watching. This is Max with Generic Podcast number 54.